Are you one of the thousands of people who have started selling on Amazon in the last couple of years? You may have noticed that there's a lot of competition, and maybe business isn't coming as easily as you thought it would. So this video is all about helping you promote your Amazon shop to get those sales. I'll start with the paid options and work my way down to organic. So let's get into it. Hi, I'm Morgan with LYFE Marketing. It's time to talk promotion. I'm starting with this one because it's the most obvious, and I'll also be sharing pros and cons and some best practice suggestions that may be new to you. Plus, some of the points include bonus ideas for your small business and pro tips for what you need to watch out for. So it's worth it to stick around to the end, I promise. So let's start with the pros and cons of running ads on Amazon. Here's some of the pros. You pay per click, so you will only pay when someone clicks on your ad. That's a nice little bonus there. You can set a budget limit, which is especially helpful if you're bootstrapping. You can target interest in keywords. Choose long tail keywords that show intent and target based on interest and stages of buying. This ensures that those clicks are qualified. You have a lot of retargeting options. With your retargeting options, you can show previous website visitors your products in the search results. Also, you'll get accurate data, and there aren't a lot of delays, unlike with Facebook ads. With some platforms like Facebook, we do see a delay in the results reporting, sometimes for a few days. On Google, especially when using analytics, I've not noticed the same or any delay. And if you're advertising directly on the Amazon platform where you're selling, your analytics should be pretty real time, and there shouldn't really be a delay in any of that reporting. On Amazon, you can reach customers that are deeper into the buying journey. Those intent-based keywords come into play here. Instead of bookshelf ideas, bid on modern white bookshelf under $200 if that's what your product is, and that's what the price is. Now here are some cons. Of course, this will require a time investment. Your setup, troubleshooting, and optimization takes time. You'll need to spend at least a couple of hours a week during the first few months to figure everything out and to optimize. After you've got it optimized and your product is situated, it's a little less hands-off, but it does require some time. Of course, this also requires an investment of money. You want to use at least $500 a month to see results in a decent time frame. And a time frame like that would be a few weeks to a couple of months. If you're just starting or you haven't done much advertising on Amazon, this may be off the table. If that's the case, you'll need to opt for the organic options that I'll be covering later in this video. Now, another con is that your shoppers already need to be on Amazon. Unless they're on the platform, they won't see your ads that you're running. This is a pro too, of course, because of the intent bit that we discussed earlier. But it also means that you're relying solely on Amazon's audience to grow your business. I recommend coupling running ads on Amazon with other marketing strategies. So let's look at some best practices if you do decide to do this. You'll want to focus on your keywords and your SEO. This will help you rank organically in search results outside of Amazon and helps you show up in relevant shopper searches on the platform. You want to make sure that you take good quality photos and you have video. Since folks can't touch, weigh, or examine the product that they're buying, they have to rely on the videos and the photos that you provide. Make a good first impression or folks will leave and they will not come back. Make sure you do competitor research. Amazon is a price game for a lot of shoppers, so you should know whether you are above, below, or right in the middle of the pricing scale, and how your product differs from everyone else at that price point. The next thing you can do is run paid ads on social. Let's look at some of the benefits to running ads on social media and some of the reasons that you might not want to, or might find it difficult. The first pro is that it's low cost. Average cost per engagement is 12 cents, which has slightly increased from the last year. You can use small monthly budgets, sometimes even just a few $100s can go a long way. You have big potential reach. Billions, and I mean billions, of people are on social media, and there's a platform for every audience. Facebook and Instagram are a great place to start for many businesses. TikTok is incredible for growth right now. You have lots of options. Plus, it's easy to use. The platforms are simple enough to use that once you know your way around, it's really not a big deal. Though these platforms are always changing and can be overwhelming at first, they really are not hard to figure out. Now, some cons can be the distractions. Travel inspiration, cats doing cute things, news, and dozens of other ads can distract your social media users from following your ad to your site and watching your video or listening to your message. It's also a big time investment. Coming up with ideas, researching social media holidays, doing hashtag research, writing captions, creating graphics, organizing the feed, scheduling the posts. I'm tired just going through that list. And as a small business owner, when will you find the time to do this, honestly? It's also a long game strategy. Social really isn't the place to get sales. Yes, you can and should be tagging your products, using CTAs, and promoting your business, but social is more about building those relationships, and those sales typically come through your paid efforts or after months and months of consistent posting and building that relationship. Let's look at some best practice suggestions for promoting your Amazon shop through paid ads. You'll definitely want to use A/B testing. To figure out what works and doesn't work, go with A/B testing. I have a whole video on the concept that you should check out next. You should also go for quality traffic and then retarget for conversions. You can try cold targeting your conversions and you may see some success, but you can usually get a cheaper cost per result by building up a retargeting audience and showing those conversion campaigns to them. This is something that you'd want to test, of course. It may be changing as Facebook unveils the Advantage Suite and the Advantage Plus shopping ads. You definitely want to utilize the machine learning when it works. Automated ads, dynamic creative, and audience expansion are all tools to help your ads perform better with less effort on your part. While the robots are willing, before they take over, let them make your life easier. Another best practice I have for you is to use dynamic ads and make sure you set up your catalog. Speaking of that machine learning, dynamic creative showing products that people were browsing before, and abandoned cart sequences are all possible when you use dynamic creative. Here are some ideas for your small business. Offer a coupon to first-time customers. Retarget visitors with products from their abandoned cart. Run a brand awareness campaign with a video telling your brand story. Collect email addresses or contact information for lead generation. Get page followers or get engagement on a specific post or profile. Or get app installs or increase in-app activity. Here are some things you should keep a special watch on. As you're running these ads, you'll need to optimize. So make sure you watch your cost per result. This needs to make sense for your company and be affordable for you. Also watch your frequency. This is how often, on average, each person has seen your ad. Once you reach a 3 or a 4, it's definitely time to freshen creatives. And look for audience overlap. You don't want to be bidding against yourself. Trust me, it is the worst thing ever. Watch more in-depth videos on this topic, including strategy and how-tos at our playlist. The links are below. Now let's look at another option to get found on search engines. If you already have an Amazon listing or you've looked into this at all, you probably know how important keywords are. SEO, or search engine optimization, is ensuring that you're using those terms, phrases, and words that people will actually use to search for your product. You can build organic traffic with on-page SEO. This takes time, but it is well worth the effort. Or you can prepare paid ads to expedite your results. Let's look at some pros and cons. An obvious pro here is that lots of people use search as part of their buyer journey. Billions of people use search engines every day to research everything from life events to small household purchases. Google, of course, is the main search engine, with YouTube, which is owned by Google, as a close second. You can reach folks at pretty much any stage of the journey. Another pro is that you can target for intent. You can choose those keyword phrases that show intent, like the examples that I shared above. You can also opt for in-market audiences on Google. And your shopping ads will show up in search. You'll take up more real estate for the keywords that you want with search and shopping ads coupled together. Both can display at the same time, and you are only charged when someone clicks. Of course, there are cons, as there are to everything. This does require management. It will require ongoing keyword optimization for paid ads and researching and adding new and relevant keywords to your organic strategy. This can mean creating entire new landing pages and content to match them. Plus, creating all of the content and imagery for the ads alone can be a lot. And of course, it costs money. Again, if you're bootstrapping, even just a couple of $100s a month goes a really long way. So it doesn't have to be expensive, but you do have to invest something. And organic strategy is a long game. Building that SEO, blogging, sharing backlinks, guest posting, finding guest posters, etc. That's a lot, and it often pays off, but often not for a while. If you need immediate results, this may not be the best strategy for you, but it's still something that's important for your business. Here's some of my best practice suggestions. I recommend that you use the Performance Max on Google Ads. It's automated, it shows on all of Google properties, it uses dynamic creative, and it combines your search and shopping. You'll definitely want to make sure you monitor them and don't just follow what they're saying without questioning anything, but I just filmed a video on this topic. For more information, you can watch that. Links will be below. You'll definitely want to make sure that you're also connecting your product feeds as soon as possible. Even if you aren't ready to run ads promoting your products yet, connect your shopping feed as soon as possible so that you can troubleshoot early and have it ready to go. Also, check analytics and optimize. Don't just set it and forget it. Check back in every couple of weeks, especially at the beginning. Then you can start to check in monthly. And of course, another pro tip for you, watch our videos on promoting your business on search engines because there's a lot of helpful, actionable information for you. Links are below. Okay, now I have some ideas for how you can show up in search engines. The first is blogging. You can write articles, focus on your specific keywords or products, make sure that they add value. The second is backlinking. I recently created a video with backlinking tips and ideas, so check that out after you finish this one. You don't want to miss the rest of my tips that I'm about to share. Of course, you can run paid ads. For the sake of time, also, I will not cover that in this video because we have a playlist filled with helpful videos. And don't forget that Pinterest is a search engine. It's true, if you followed this channel and heard me talk about it at all, I've been harping on this for a while. Pinterest is a search engine, so optimize your pins that are leading to your product or website with the keywords that you're using to promote your products across the internet. Now, another way to promote is vertical video or organic social. Here are some of the pros and cons. As far as pros go, TikTok is growing. TikTok just passed 3 billion downloads worldwide, which took Facebook 10 years to do, by the way. And it's not just for young folks. There are 1 billion monthly active users, and of course, TikTok's Generation Z is the highest. 47.4% of their active users are on TikTok. However, the amount of American adults over the age of 30 using TikTok grew 5.5 times in the last 18 months, with a 2-to-1 female to male gender ratio. Now, we know that users on social media prefer video. 78% of people watch online videos every week, and 55% view online videos every day. 72% of customers said they would rather learn about a product or service by way of video. In fact, 84% said that they've been convinced to buy a product or service because they watched a brand's video. Plus, it's easier than ever to get into making video. All you really need is an iPhone or an Android phone, a ring light or some natural light, and usually the built-in microphone on your iPhone works just fine. Or you could have a small little home setup like I do, with a small DSLR camera, a tripod, and just a couple of lights in front of a green screen, or even green fabric. It doesn't have to be fancy. Here are some cons. It does take time to conceptualize. You have to use the platform to understand the trends and the nuance, which is hard to do when you have a million other things to do. Plus, you have to think of all the ways that you can use all these ideas that you're seeing for your business. You also have to be the talent or get creative. Unless you're using product videos or slicing together stock footage, you have to be in front of the camera. And even if you are using that stock footage, you'll have to actually put everything together, which brings me to editing. It is time consuming. It requires often an employee or a freelancer unless you're really into editing. If you don't have the time to put everything together, then that probably means an in-house person or a freelancer is going to be a better choice for you. That can get pricey even at part-time hours. Then after that, you have to write captions, find hashtags, and scheduling everything, and that can take hours every week. It's not a difficult task by any means, but it's time that is probably better spent for you on things that you alone can do for your business. So here are some of my best practice suggestions. You'll definitely want to stay up to date with trending audio. There are plenty of apps that you can check that track those trending sounds for you and even predict the next trending sound. You'll need to figure out how to make the trends work for your business. Follow the data. Whatever your data is telling you in your results, make sure that you're optimizing for that. On TikTok especially, but a lot of vertical video, engaging with the viewers is a must. Responding to comments especially. Remember that it's social media, so we should focus on the social aspect. And of course, you need to focus on adding value. Why would someone follow you after seeing that post? Here's some ideas for using vertical video to promote your Amazon store. Make sure that you're asking users to tag your products. User-generated content is incredibly valuable for small businesses. It's a great form of social proof, and a positive review, even from a stranger online, is more trusted by many shoppers than any positive advertisement from you as the company. Try working with influencers. I would focus on micro-influencers of 10,000 followers or less. Others are just too expensive, and micro-influencers honestly tend to have a more engaged audience anyway. You could do an educational series. Pick a broad topic that your customer would be interested in learning more about. You can obviously make it related to your product, and then publish videos to this series regularly. Each video should be a singular subtopic, and again, focus on adding that value. Serialized content is doing really well on social, and it's nice for content creation because it keeps you kind of in a zone. Reaction videos are also very popular. Tell a story, connect to an emotion, like heartwarming, funny, or a jump scare. Capture authentic social proof. These are used everywhere across multiple platforms of video, and they're not getting old with the audience, so these can be nice for you too. Those are my tips to help you promote your Amazon shop. As with any form of digital marketing these days, it will take some trial and error for you to find your recipe for success. It is honestly different for everyone. All you need to do though is get started. Use the data to inform your next steps, and jump right in. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video with me. I'll see you soon, and don't forget to request any topics that you'd like to see in the comments below. Happy marketing!